Every year around this time I create a special piece of merchandise for my shop and as a reward for my supporters. And this year I had the opportunity to get some handcrafted screen prints. Back in summer I met Felix from the Open Screen Print workshop in Leipzig and I helped him out repairing some clamping mechanisms for one of his printing machines. And in return he offered to print something for me, which seemed like a perfect opportunity. My friend Toby, who already did all the paintings for our sets, volunteered to create a printable design for my jellyfish character in this upcoming scrapyard environment. And we really wanted to get the most out of this manual printing technique, so we went for a 4-color print, including a white layer on beige paper, some reflective gold paint for the golden metal parts of the jellyfish, and a subtle gradient of blue and green on the background layer. As it's a very manual technique, each of the prints is unique in the sense that there are slight variations in the color gradient or in the alignment of those printing layers. And yeah, Felix printed all of them by hand in his workshop and I think the results are really stunning. If you live near the area and would like to learn about screen printing yourself or get some prints done, then definitely check out Felix's workshop. I leave a link to that in the description. We created a limited run of 50 prints only and most of them are already reserved for project members and patron supporters on the Steam in a Jar tier and above. So if you're interested to get one yourself, I only have a few of them left in my shop at vfkinetics.de. Please check out the link if you're interested. And of course all of them come numbered and signed on the backside and all the profits go to an Unwound Clockwork. Speaking of which, if you're still looking for some gifts maybe, I have a few miniatures left as well as merchandise pieces from recent years like postcards, calendars and those technical drawing posters of our robot kits. And also, if you're not very much into stuff, it might be an option to give away a Patreon membership this time. In the meantime, I have finally completed this month's robot kit parts, so let's talk about the assembly next. This month you're getting the hands of the character and they consist of 4 fingers, these claw-like pieces, and 4 side plates, 2 with a threaded hole and 2 with a through hole, 2 very tiny cylindrical rods and 2 5mm screws. So the main reason it took so long was the manufacturing of those side plates. They're essentially similar to the upper arms, which I already manufactured, and so I felt it's about the same probably, but I had real trouble using my fixture I used to create this round section on the upper arms. Somehow it just didn't work out, probably because those pieces were just too small and couldn't be clamped properly. So eventually I decided I have to come up with a new fixture dedicated to this small palm pieces. And so I machined this thing out of the cylindrical brass part and then used it on my rotary table, which is a much more rigid setup for this kind of milling. And that way I was able to create perfectly nice rounded ends for those pieces. And looking at it, this cylindrical fixture piece is quite nice on itself and I don't need it anymore. So I thought maybe one of you would like to have a piece of robot kit manufacturing history. So if you would like to have that original fixture piece, I'll put it up on my shop as well. And if you order it, I will just add it to your next kit basically. And at last the fingers, of course, they started off as a laser cut piece of brass metal and I thoroughly polished and cleaned it. But I decided to only polish the outside of this finger and not the inside because I felt that rough laser cut surface texture will actually help him to grab onto things. So let's see how that goes. So the assembly is quite fiddly this time. It might be hard to show on camera what exactly I'm doing, so occasionally I will also show the original 3D model so you can see how things are intended to come together. We basically start with 2 of those fingers and arrange them in this claw-like position on top of each other, and then take one of those tiny cylinders and put them through the hole. So the 2 fingers are basically hinged together, and then we carefully pick up that sub-assembly, make sure the little rod stays inside the fingers, and then we take a pair of those side plates and carefully put the rod in the little hole on one end and basically sandwich the fingers and side plates between each other. And carefully pick up the entire stack like this and hold it between your fingers so you can access the center hole, and insert the 5mm screw like that through the through hole and into the thread on the other side, and tighten it a tiny bit. Not very much, just enough so it doesn't fall apart. And then we take our character and put the other end of the hand over this ball on the end of his lower arm, and then we carefully tighten that center screw, and it tightens the ball and socket joint at the same time as the fingers, like that. And that way he can rotate his entire hand around the ball and socket joint, but also open and close his finger jaw, basically like that. And just like that, his main body parts are completed. He's able to move his fingers, hold tiny props, pick your nose or scratch your back or whatever he's up to. And yeah, just like that, he's basically completed. But next month will be the last remaining part, the door of his belly and something missing on his butt, as I said. Well, that's it from this time. Thanks a lot for watching. Wish you a happy winter holidays and see you next month again with a proper update from An Unbound Clockwork.